What's going on, guys? It's MayK2. I'm going to shift gears and talk about something that, that I've never been able to understand. Maybe somebody can help me out with this. Trying to figure out the hatred in the world, and I'm not talking about, like, YouTube trolls and stalkers and haters, and I'm not talking about people like that, because, honestly, as a YouTuber, my best advice on stuff like that is embrace those type of people, because those are your most loyal viewers, But, they do fall into the genre of people that I'm, the hatred in the world, I don't understand. I was over at my friend CDO for Jesus. He's doing blog TV, and just going down and looking at her page, and she's got a bunch of recorded videos, and someone, this is a person of God, who we don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff when it comes to that kind of thing, but, that's beside the point. Someone took it upon themselves to go through all of her recorded videos and 1 star every video. Like, purposefully pull up each video just to give it 1 star. And I just think that's interesting. What drives a person to do something like that? What hatred must this person feel that they actually feel the need to, if my guess is that these are people who, for whatever reason, they're so unhappy with their own life that they feel the need to, misery loves company, they say. So maybe they feel the need to cast their hatred and stuff onto others. And I guess maybe that's the part I don't understand, because I've never had it in me to do something like that myself. And I'm blessed that I don't have that kind of hatred in me to just intentionally go and just hate someone else. There's not many things in this world that I could say that I hate outside of, like, the New World Order. But the New World Order is not any one person, or, it's a concept. It's an idea of global control over human beings. So does that make me a hater of the New World Order? Does that make me like a troll of the New World Order because I highly disagree and I highly am against that? Of course, that's like on a larger scale. I'm not really talking about something like that. I'm just talking about individual people hating other individual people. So it's probably not really the same thing, because I don't know who could possibly be for global control of human beings, just power over human beings. Well, I'm getting way off the topic here. What is the topic? I don't even know. It's late. It's 2 in the morning. I'm just blabbering on. But I just want to make a video and say, who you mad at, bro? To all the haters out there, all the people who feel the need to go around on a daily basis. Now, these people are persistent. These aren't people that just come along once or twice and they just, maybe they had a bad day and they just unload their hatred. These are people who do it every day. I've got actual stalkers on YouTube who wake up in the morning and go right to my page just to see if I put out a video overnight so that they can, like, hit the thumbs down, which that kind of stuff doesn't bother me, but it just boggles my mind that there's people who live in that mind. Like, I got a stalker up in Chicago, constantly stalking just very creepy stuff, and I'm just thinking, I try to put myself in his mindset. Like, what goes through this guy's head that he feels the need on a daily basis to actually write comments about me on the front of his own channel and just constantly follow me around the internet and constantly feel the need to point out, I never claim to be a perfect person. I got a lot of problems, okay? But that's not really what I'm getting at. Is, if you do like a little research on people who constantly feel the need to point out the faults of others, you're going to find out sooner or later that what those people are actually doing is talking about themselves. Because to be that kind of person, you have to have some sort of deep-seated psychological problem yourself to constantly follow one person around the internet just so you can point out all of their little flaws. And and I want to make it clear that doesn't bother me, because this man is he's my most loyal viewer, and I appreciate that. As a YouTuber, I appreciate that. I do. It just kind of creeps me out, and I can't put myself in that mind frame, I guess, because I'm just not that kind of person. I sit here sometimes and I'm like, isn't this man interesting? I try to look at it from a third party point of view. Take myself and just kind of look at me and him and just kind of look at the whole situation like, is this hatred? Does this man... What is the deeper level going on here? Does he hate me? Like, would he laugh if some sort of physical harm came to me? In which case, that's just really, wow. But this is just stuff I think about. I'm like, what is the deal really? Is it some sort of, I'm not a big believer when it comes to, but I do believe in good and evil. There's light and there's dark. There's the yin and the yang. There's a balance. There's a positive and a negative. So I guess what I'm trying to say or trying to ask, are some people just naturally on the side of darkness and evil? Is that just their way? Is that just the way that they're made? I can't understand that, because I'm obviously made a different way. I don't want to see, it's like, I don't feel hatred toward anyone, other than, like I said, the concept of the New World Order. But I think that's we're talking about a little something different. But I only want to see good things happen to people. I don't want to see... I can only frame it as, there's good and there's bad. There's light and there's dark. And then there's a balance. There's positive and negative. And some people are just naturally hateful and just want to cast hatred onto other people. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe that's just the way of the universe. Maybe that's just their way. Anyway, I have a difficult time trying to figure out hateful people. I just don't understand it. And maybe that's what's wrong with the world, is that there's just maybe the dark is overpowering the light at this point. Maybe there's so much hatred in the world that it's just overcoming. I'd like to think that there's a balance, but maybe the balance is getting thrown out of whack. Because if you look around YouTube, if you just read comments on videos, and not only YouTube, just you can go anywhere on the internet, go to a forum, you could see just the pure hatred coming out of some people, and you're just like, why you gotta be like that? Why is... some just brutal... The name-calling and some of the nasty shit people say to each other. It's just... a lot of days I kind of struggle to try to figure out why all the hatred. What are you mad at, bro? Why are you so mad? Why do you hate so much? I don't understand hatred. Anyway, what sparked all this is I saw my friend had just a bunch of recorded videos with 1 star. Somebody actually went out of their way, took time out of their day to go and pull up every single video and give it 1 star. And, these are like the titles of the videos, like Bible verses and stuff, and I'm just thinking, man, that really sucks. That really sucks that there's people with that much hatred, that they would actually take the time to do that. Anyway, rambled on long enough. I probably won't even upload this. Maybe I will, just to see what kind of response I get. What do you think? Do you think it's just the natural balance of things, that there's just good and evil, and some people are just naturally on the dark side? I believe in the universe, and I thank God, give love to the universe, thank the universe that I am not one of those hateful people, man. I don't know how I don't think I would want to live being that hateful toward other people. I'm not without my own personal problems and issues, but man, I sure don't want to cast hatred and bad things onto other people. I've never had the desire to do that. Anyway, what do you guys think? I don't know what to make of any of it. But I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Stay safe.